caught in a row over the huge amount of freebies you've accepted while leader of the opposition, £107,000, far more than any other MP.
Keir Starmer, the man who promises to level the playing field for all, has found himself embroiled in a new controversy, this time over his apparent love for luxury freebies. Over £100,000 in gifts and donations, from luxury accommodation for his son to designer clothing, football tickets, and even concert passes for Taylor Swift. One of the most controversial, a £20,000 donation for accommodation so his 16-year-old son could study in peace for his GCSEs. This luxury penthouse raised eyebrows, especially when many families struggle to afford even basic necessities. And it doesn't stop there. Starmer has accepted over £12,500 in football tickets, designer workwear worth £16,000, and concert hospitality worth £4,000. So is Keir Starmer sorry? Does he even understand why the public are so upset with his hypocrisy? Of course not.
Do you acknowledge that this has undermined your message and reputation, and are you sorry about that?
Well, I think it's important just to put it in its context. Any gift or donation to a politician has to be declared. Everything I've had has been declared, and sitting behind the numbers are some human explanations. So quite a lot of that money was for tickets for football matches. I pay for my own tickets at Arsenal. I've got season tickets. Unfortunately, I can't sit in the stand anymore for security reasons.
What a load of absolute rubbish, as usual from Gear Keir. It didn't stop Rishi Sunak watching his team. Here he is watching from the stands in May this year. And here he is again watching his football team from the stands when he was Prime Minister.
Second example I'll just give you is some of that money was for the loan of a flat during the election period. No money changed hands.
Yes, and that was no related to your son.
Yeah, there was no cash adjustment.
So there was no cash adjustments. That's just more spin from Keir. He doesn't know when to stop. He wanted a nice place for his son to study, but he has no problems disrupting a large portion of the country's children with his VAT raid on private schools. Many of these children have SEN needs, and the children that have to go back into public schools are having difficulty in finding available spaces. These parents must be absolutely furious when they see the hypocrisy from Keir Starmer.
No money exchanged hands. We didn't. No money exchanged hands. But for the registrar, no. But you put it to me. Let me just finish. But for the registrar's purposes, he says, "Well, I know you didn't pay and nobody gave you money, but let's work out what it would have been worth if it had been a commercial transaction, which it was."
No money changed hands. Well, of course it didn't, Keir. So we, the public, are we to believe that Labour donors do this out of the goodness of their heart and expect nothing in return? They pump thousands of pounds into Labour with nothing in return, not even a temporary access pass to number 10. Does Keir Starmer not see how hard it is for the public to believe this? How can anyone trust anything this man says?
It feels to me you're a bit defensive. Like, do you feel you're being misunderstood on this, that we shouldn't be, that there are reasons behind all these expenses?
I think it's really important you ask me the questions. That's why the declarations are there. But, you know, this is just, I think behind some of these numbers is a human story.
What about the human story behind pensioners freezing this winter? What about their story? Of course they don't matter to you. I thought we were all in this together.
And it's all important sometimes just to explain what the story is.
But I want to go back to the framing of it, which is, you have said that we are all in this together. You said in your speech yesterday, it's a shared struggle, a project that says to everyone this will be tough. To coin a phrase, we're all in it together. And for some of it, whether you like it or not, it will look to some people that we're not all in it together, that because of your position, you get privilege and freebies that other people don't have access to. Take GCSEs. There will be some people that would also want a private place, have a different environment where they would like their child to go so they could have a better opportunity. Do you see how it looks to some people that there's one rule for you in terms of being able to claim this stuff that other people don't have access to?
Well, I think that's why the rules are there to declare it. But look, every day...
Do you get it, though?
Every day...
Do you get how it looks?
If you're putting to me, Beth...
That's just it. He doesn't get it. Keir Starmer seems completely out of touch with how bad it looks to the public when he rakes in thousands of pounds in freebies. Whether it's luxury accommodation, designer clothes, or VIP tickets, Starmer acts like these lavish perks are no big deal. But for families struggling to make ends meet, it's a slap in the face. While he claims to stand for fairness, accepting gifts worth more than most people's annual salary shows a glaring disconnect from the very people he's supposed to represent. It's not just tone deaf, it's hypocrisy at its finest.
I wake up every morning thinking I've got a mandate to change the country. I've got a mandate to improve living standards. I've got a mandate to improve the health service.
I'm trying to talk to you about the optics of it, Prime Minister. If I go back to what you claimed in opposition, 4,500 on holiday accommodation, 16,000 on clothing, nearly £3,000 on glasses, over £35,000 in football, concert tickets, rugby, the races, over £17,000. There might be human reasons for it, but do you understand the optics of it when you are the Prime Minister that said you were going to do politics differently? It looks like you're claiming loads of freebies.
Well,
do you get it? Even if you don't agree with it?
I've given you my explanation, and I can't improve on that. If people think that my decision to try and protect my son's GCSEs was the wrong one, they're free to do so.
There's lots of other things in that, but it's not about your son.
If people feel that I should insist on sitting in the stands at Arsenal, notwithstanding the cost to other people.
The clothes,
that's their
the concert tickets,
well,
there's other things in that.
Well, on the clothes, I mean, look, in the general election campaign, we're busy and lots of people want to help, and in this particular instance said, well, I can help with sorting out some clothes.
I'm honestly shocked by what I'm hearing. Keir Starmer is so disconnected. It's as if he thinks the Labour Party is struggling to survive on handouts. You're a multi-millionaire, Keir. How can you justify taking donations for things you can easily afford, and then turn around and tell pensioners they don't need the winter fuel allowance because their pensions are barely over the threshold? This obsession with freebies is out of control. You need a reality check.
In opposition, that's one thing. You know, what I would say now is I won't be doing donations for clothes again. There won't be any declarations like that. But look, I think that's a matter of judgment for individuals. And Beth, I might just gently say, Sky invite us to quite a lot of hospitality events. Your summer party is a great party costing thousands of pounds, and you invite me every year.
Not sure how he can even compare attending the Sky News Christmas party to pocketing thousands in free gifts. Going to the party is part of his job as a political leader, but Keir Starmer is being completely disingenuous, grasping at straws to justify his obsession with freebies. His attempts to defend it just come off as obnoxious.
What I'm trying to get to, which I think I can see but perhaps you can't, is that for some people out there, it looks like you were going to do politics differently, and now they're seeing that you're claiming for lots of freebies, and it feels less of a clean break, and to some, a sort of continuity Johnson of getting rich friends to pay for stuff.
Well, I've given you the explanation.
But do you just not accept that? Am I just
I understand why you're
on a
asking
different
questions.
page?
I understand why you're asking questions. Of course you're right to ask questions, and because you've asked questions, I've given my explanation about why it is that I don't go in the stands at football now, why it is that I wanted to protect my son in his GCSEs, why it is that, you know, my judgment call has been that when you've invited me to the Sky party costing thousands of pounds every year, I've accepted that invitation and come along.